CIA Director Mike Pompeo is set to visit Ankara. He'll be in the Turkish capital to discuss terrorism and security issues with officials. It's his first overseas visit after taking office as head of the CIA. Well, for more on this, we're joined now by Sean Michael Cox, the Director of International Affairs at Cheshire University. Thank you very much for coming in and talking to us. What is likely to be discussed then in Pompeo's visit here to Ankara, to the Turkish capital?
Well, most likely this visit is primarily symbolic in nature and a very quick follow-up through the conversation that President Trump and President Erdogan had just several days ago, reiterating the positions of each party in that conversation. And
I suppose the war on Syria, the fight against terror, Fethullah Gulen are all likely to be discussed, or perhaps not?
It's expected that the two primary points of the meeting will be the Fethullah Gulen issue and the ability of the United States, or the interest of the United States in extraditing him, and the support of the United States for parties in Syria that work against the Turkish government.
These are potential causes of friction, aren't they, really, between Ankara and Washington, or they certainly were perhaps under the Obama administration?
Yes, during the Obama administration, there were points of contention that led to deterioration in the relationship over the previous 3 years, but the Trump administration has signaled that they're willing to listen and that there could be potentially a change in policy.
How likely do you think that is? Is the Trump administration going to move on all the issues, or one maybe not the other? Is there going to be some bargaining, some leeway? How do you see this panning out over the next few months?
Well, considering his business background, I'm sure there's going to be some bargaining. As far as it goes with the Gulen issue, I think that Trump would be more willing to listen to the Turkish position, considering that his priority is American safety and security, and working with an ally as strong as Turkey is to the United States, that he's be more inclined to support their position. Similarly, for U.S. support for Kurdish fighters in Syria, he's more likely to listen to the Turkish position as well, in particular if it will help keep the United States at arm's length from the conflict.
And what is Ankara's view, do you think, on this travel ban that the Trump administration is trying to implement on the 7 Muslim countries, and I suppose the overall rhetoric that Donald Trump uses when talking about Muslims and Muslim countries? Is that something that you think Ankara will raise with?
I'm sure that they will. I'm sure that they will. I can't imagine that Ankara would be happy about the travel ban being cast as a Muslim ban, despite protestation from Trump and his administration.
So overall, in conclusion right now, would you say that the future prospects for relations between Washington and Ankara look more rosy than they did under Obama? But
under the Obama administration, there was a lot of conflict. I think that they will improve as long as they focus on these particular areas of interest to both parties.
Okay, Sean Michael Cox, thank you very much for talking to us.